Hey guys, I'm John and today we're going to talk about a really recent topic. On 2nd of March, there's a metal sphere object crash in Buga, Colombia. And this incident is actually witnessed by a lot of local residents. A lot of people take videos of this metal sphere just flying around Colombia. And apparently this isn't a balloon. As you can see, the flying pattern of this metal sphere thing is not normal, right? And local residents actually describe the flying pattern as a zigzag motion. And it's actually hovering on the sky. This is the latest metal sphere video posted 2 days ago. As you can see, it's another angle of the metal sphere flying out of the sky, and this is from another angle. So this incident happened in local time 2 p.m. and people that filmed this video said that the metal sphere object actually it's glowing a bit and it also makes some sound. As you can see in the video, it did release some sound, but I couldn't really hear clearly. However, this mysterious metal sphere object suddenly crashed into jungle. But actually, if you look closely to the video, I don't think it crashed. I feel like it's landed to the jungle. Because usually crash, the whole thing will be unstable and then it will drop in a really fast pace, right? But as you can see in the video, the sphere actually didn't crash. It makes me feel like it's landing. It is in this kind of motion, not this kind of motion. So I feel like this sphere wanted to land in the jungle, and actually the group of people that filmed the video actually went to the crash scene and they saw the metal sphere and recovered it. The man that's wearing a yellow shirt, that's one of the witnesses of this event. I think his name is Joyce, but Joyce is a really common name in Colombia. So basically Joyce and his wife Maria, I guess Maria is his wife, and after they saw the metal sphere, they bring the metal sphere back home and then they post their videos to social media. However, from my research, when they post the video on social media, the video didn't actually go viral. But after a while, a guy named David Velázquez from my research, he's the owner of a metal detection company. He saw their video online and he wanted to recover this metal sphere from them. Also, when David recovered the metal sphere from Joyce, Joyce actually told David that he got sickness and illness for several days after touching this sphere. So that's the reason why he wants to pass to the David guy, because he got so ill, so sick, so he just wanted to get rid of it. Also, after David recovered this metal sphere, he started to do some experiment on it, and people are actually really excited what kind of experiment he's doing. First, he said that this metal sphere ball weighed around 4.5 pounds, which is around 2 kg. He also said that the weight of this sphere would change when you touch it. From the experiment, at one point, the sphere actually increases to 9 pounds, which is 4 kg. Also, I think this is really weird. He claims that the surface of the sphere is very cold, and he described the cold as the temperature of a refrigerator. Another thing, he also did an experiment where he poured water to the metal sphere and he said that it began to release smoke and the water evaporates instantly. Alright, from a science point of view, right, this is really weird, because if you want to have smoke when you pour water to a metal sphere, that metal sphere needs to be really hot in order for the water to evaporate, right? And it creates smoke and everything. But David said the surface of the metal sphere is as cold as a refrigerator, so it doesn't really make sense when he poured water on it and then it released smoke and the water evaporates instantly. So I feel like this is really weird. This is not just a normal metal, you know. Also, he said that this metal sphere didn't have any sign of welding, which means they cannot find any evidence that this metal ball is being placed like this, which means this metal ball original state is round shape and they have no idea how this sphere was put together. Also, I think this is the most weirdest part. As you can see in the picture or the video, you can see this is not just a plain metal ball. There are some drawings on the sphere and it looks like symbols from ancient runes or, you know, Mesopotamian scripts. That's what they describe. It looks like there's a lot of drawings and markings, some symbols that we don't really understand. Alright, after David recovered the metal sphere, Colombia government actually requested custody of this metal sphere from David. However, David refused the request from the government as he is afraid that if he sent the sphere to the government, we will never see this metal sphere again. And he thinks this is a really important sighting. That's why he wants to keep it in the public view. However, his refusal sparked some controversy as well. Some people say that he did a good job by keeping the sphere in public view, and some say that he didn't have the resources to actually investigate or do experiment on this sphere. So actually he is slowing down the process of knowing what is in this sphere and why is it flying and why did it crash or what is the drawing. And because of this, David actually decided to partner up with the famous Colombia radiologist. His name is Dr. José Luis Velázquez, and I feel like this is a really right move because Dr. Joyce is a really famous radiologist in Colombia. So definitely he has a lot of tools and machine and x-ray to actually look inside this sphere. So after Dr. Joyce recovered this sphere from David, he then conducted various of experiments using X-ray, which is his expert, to see what is actually inside this metal sphere. And after they do X-ray and scan the sphere, they confirm that there's no sign of welding on this metal sphere, which means David is actually right. And also the metal sphere isn't hollow, so it's not empty inside. There's actually something inside. Dr. Joyce said that after the X-ray, he confirmed that this metal sphere actually made up with 3 concentric layers. However, they can't really identify the elements inside the sphere, and this get really strange. From the X-ray, you can see from here, there are 16 tiny particles inside the metal sphere, and actually these 16 tiny particles, right, are actually moving a bit. So at first they thought it's liquids. They thought there's something moving inside, and I'm not sure whether you guys noticed this. There are 16 tiny particles inside this metal sphere, right, which is the same amount of particles on the marking outside of the sphere. As you can see from the marking here, you can count there are 16 particles actually circulating a square symbol, and it actually looks like a chip, don't you think? Comment down below whether you think the middle part is a chip or what. But definitely there are 16 particles inside the metasphere and also outside the metasphere. This is really crazy, like it matched completely. So initially when they look at the markers and the symbols, they couldn't really understand what is it talking about. Hence they decided to use AI to actually help them to translate the true meaning of it. And it gets even more dark and crazy. Alright, the AI actually translated the symbol and the marking on the sphere, and this is what the AI says. The origin of birth through union and energy in the cycle of transformation. Meeting point of unity, expansion, and consciousness, individual consciousness. It sounds really weird, right? It almost feels like the spirit is trying to communicating with us, and he's trying to tell us about the principle of life and about consciousness and about the cosmic evolution, and not with language. He's trying to tell us with symbols and markings. Actually, before this incident, we have a lot of sightings about a metal sphere object flying around the sky. I will show you some example. Take a look at this video. You can actually also see a sphere metal object flying on the sky, and then it's captured by the government as well. And this one, I think this one is the most recent one. A pilot actually captured a round sphere metal object fly beside his plane. But this video is actually not round. I think it's not completely round, but it looks like it. And also there's a metal sphere landed in Manchester airport as well. This is the picture I will show you. It looks kind of like a metal sphere. So this is not the first time where we see a metal sphere actually flying around the sky. There are a lot of examples already. And personally, I really believe this because we never had something crash to our ground. It usually just disappeared. Although government didn't confirm anything about this metal sphere, but I think this is a UAP because there are a lot of video proofs that it is flying on the sky, and it's not just from one witness. There are a lot of local residents actually filmed this video and saw it, and they saw this metasphere actually crash through the jungle. Although I don't think it crashed, it actually landed, and I feel like the metasphere wants us to know something. That's why he landed there. And also the symbol and marking on the metasphere. Don't you think it's really weird? It looks like ancient symbol. What kind of metasphere fall into the jungle with ancient symbol? That's so crazy. I personally don't think it's from humans, because Dr. Joyce actually said that there is no sign of welding, and also the translation of AI even make it seems like there is something in the universe. And like I say, maybe a more advanced being is trying to tell us what is the answer to humanity and what is universe. But as of now, we don't really have any concrete answer yet whether this metasphere is UFO. I'll do an update video if there's any shocking news about this metasphere object. You can follow my Instagram, TikTok. I will post there if I have any news. And also recently I talked about US top secret project, and if you're interested, you can also click the video here. I will put the video here, and also subscribe if you like me to talk about UFO, UAP, or the universe. Thanks for watching today. I will see you in the next video.